Welcome. Tonight, Vice President Kashim Shettima commiserates with government and people of Sokoto State over the military airstrike, says federal government will not rest on its oars until terror groups are completely wiped out. It's a sad day for traders at the Masaka Market in Karu, local government area of Nasarawa State, as fire rips through the market, leaving many of them in tears. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana blames the police for the multiple stampedes that claimed hundreds of lives in some parts of the country, challenges government at all levels to address acute poverty, hunger, as well as youth unemployment. And Russian President Vladimir Putin apologizes to Azerbaijan over the downing of a commercial airliner in the Russian airspace in which 38 people were killed.
And on business news tonight, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise has given its economic forecast for 2025, expecting moderate economic growth with inflation potentially slowing slightly.
And on sports news tonight, Super Eagles Team B beats Ghana 3-1 on aggregate to qualify for next year's African Nations Championship.
President Kashim Shettima has extended his condolences to the government and people of Sokoto State over the loss of lives in Silame local government area due to a military airstrike. In a statement by his senior special assistant on media and communications, the vice president extended sympathy to the families of those hit by the military onslaught on the terrorist group, noting that it's one of those rare and sad moments when innocent civilians are caught in the crossfire in the ongoing efforts to rid the country of all forms of terror. He, however, solicited more support for the troops, noting that with useful information, the officers will maintain accuracy and precision in fishing out the terrorists amongst innocent villagers they are staking their lives to protect. The Vice President assured the people of the federal government's support, vowing that the present administration will not rest on its oars until terror groups and other criminal elements are completely wiped out of the country. Staying with the war against insurgency, troops of 1 Brigade, Sector 2, Operation Fasanyama, have successfully apprehended a 25-year-old ammunition courier. According to a statement signed by the coordinator, Joint Media Coordinating Center of the operation, Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi, the suspect was found in possession of 764 rounds of special ammunition and 6 magazines meant to be delivered to a terrorist kingpin's camp. It adds that the arrest followed an intelligence report regarding the movement of the terrorist logistics in Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State, which prompted the troops to set up a roadblock, leading to the arrest of the suspects, who are currently undergoing investigation by the appropriate authorities. Lieutenant Colonel Abdullahi restated the troops' commitment to dismantling all terrorist networks, as well as preventing illegal movement of arms and ammunition within its theater of operation. To other matters now, a fire disaster at the Masaka Market in Karu, local government area of Nasarawa State, has left traders in tears. According to eyewitnesses, the blaze started last night and many traders are appealing for the government's intervention as they count their losses. The last time a fire incident affected the market was in 2019.
These are the remains of a portion of Masaka Market, located in a community that shares boundary with the nation's capital. Tears flow freely as this woman, whose shop was affected by the fire incident, is consoled by her friends.
Yesterday I was going to Use. I told me that this place got burned yesterday. So I'm just coming back. I discovered that my whole shop had burned down. And this is the second time I was selling Lace and George close to office, 2 shops. He burned down. And this one again is the second one. Everything goes down. I don't have any assistance again. I don't know where to start now. This one. I don't even know my shop again. I don't even know where the shop is now. I don't know what to do again. I go worth up to 2 million and there's nothing inside the shop as I'm talking to you. I don't have anybody to help me. I'm begging government to come and help us. Come and help me, oh God, so that my children will not die hungry.
On the other side of the market, traders are picking up what is left of their goods, while scavengers have a field day. Traders and sympathizers are sighted taking a look at the remains of the market, just as they narrate their side of the story and how the fire was contained.
Government need to come to their aid because many of them they traveled and they lock their shops. Some of them they just leave their people that are used to take care of their shop. They left them behind. But see what is happening right now. For now, we don't have markets in this massacre. Government need to do something quickly so that at least their life will be saved.
This morning I woke up because my wife has a shop here. So when I came here, I discovered that yes, the whole market has got burnt. We have not gotten the right information that this was the problem or this was the cause of the fire. So we are still waiting to hear from the government or anywhere.
However, the governor of Nasarawa State made a stop over at the market and assessed the damage done by the fire. The last time a fire incident occurred in the market was in 2019. The traders are hoping that the government will compensate them for their losses.
So another incident, this time a road crash has claimed the lives of some commuters in 2 buses along the Owo-Ikare-Akoko highway. Eyewitness account reveals that the accident occurred at about 10 this morning. 14 people were involved, with 13 of them burnt beyond recognition, while 1 person was rescued with serious injuries. The sector commander of the FRSC in Ondo State, Samuel Ibitoye, confirmed the incident, says one of the buses had a bad tire, leading to loss of control and head-on collision with another bus loaded with fabrics coming from the Owo axis, and immediately the buses burst into flames. He noted that the FRSC, police as well as the fire service rushed to the scene to rescue the victims. According to him, the injured victim has been rushed to the Federal Medical Center Owo, while the remains of those who lost their lives have been deposited at the mortuary in the hospital. The death that occurred during the recent food stampedes in Abuja, Oyo and Anambra states have been blamed on the police. Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, made this known in Akure, the Ondo State capital, while delivering a public lecture organized by the state government in honor of the former governor, Rotimi Akeredolu. According to him, the unfortunate incident happened because the police were negligent of their constitutional duties.
Dignitaries from all walks of life gather at the International Culture and Event Center, Akure, the Ondo State capital. The event of the day is the first Akeredolu lecture series with the topic, Security Sector Reform in Promoting Peace, Stability and Development, the Ondo State Example. This lecture is organized by the Ondo State government in honor of the former governor who died on December 27, 2023. The elder statesman and Afenifere chieftain, who is the chairman of the occasion, sets the tone for the day's discussions.
We can't dissociate the recent Ibadan, Abuja, Okija food stampede from the horrible event of kidnapping which had driven our farmers from their farm. Unfortunately, The Buhari government did nothing at our state police recommendation. And when all hopes appeared lost, President Bola Tinubu set in motion the necessary machinery for the creation of state police to tackle insecurity, to promote peace, stability, and development in the nation.
Next, the guest speaker, Mr. Femi Falana, mounts the podium to deliver his lecture. He applauds Governor Akeredolu for leading the fight for the establishment of the Southwest Security Network Agency, the Amotekun Corps, which he says has enhanced security in the Southwest region.
Akete, of course, as you are all aware, they are the federal government, and with his colleagues, they announced the formation of Amotekun. Akete, it was the first governor to enact a law to legitimize the Amotekun security network. It is therefore not surprising that today Ondo State remains the most peaceful state in Nigeria. If we do not confront unemployment of our young people, if we do not confront poverty in our country, there's no amount of physical security that can guarantee peace, law, and order.
On the recent stampedes, which claimed some lives in some parts of the country, Mr. Falana blames the police for failing to live up to expectation.
Bashorun Arugbofa referred to the unfortunate incident in Ibadan where 35 children were killed. In Abuja, 10 were killed. In Okija, it was 12, now 22. All manners of blamed have gone to the organizers. All Nigerians are very impatient. I want to say on this occasion that the blame should go to the Nigerian police force. The Nigerian police force claims that it is investigating the circumstances that led to the death. How?
On his part, the governor of Ondo State, Mr. Yahaya, highlights some of the legacies of his predecessor, especially in the area of security.
His administrations, which I'm also part of, landmark achievements are profound in the area of security, infrastructural development, education, healthcare, youth empowerment, and entrepreneurship, economic growth and development. Arakunrin Akeredolu was a veteran in his profound commitment to security of lives and property of all residents of the Sunshine State.
Some political associates of the former governor extol his leadership virtues, referring to him as a committed, brave, and straightforward leader. Mr. Oluwarotimi Akeredolu was governor of Ondo State from 2017 to 2023. He died at a German hospital on December 27, 2023, at the age of 67, after a prolonged battle with prostate cancer.
In part two, after the break, we continue with our review of year 2024. Tonight, we beam our searchlight on agriculture and food security. That's in a moment. Join us again. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima commiserates with government and people of Sokoto State over the military airstrike, says the federal government will not rest on its oars until terror groups are completely wiped out. It's a sad day for traders at Masaka Market in Karu local government area of Nasarawa State as fire rips through the market, leaving many of them in tears. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana blames the police for the multiple stampedes that claimed lives in some parts of the country, challenges governments at all levels to address acute poverty, hunger, as well as youth unemployment. And Russian President Vladimir Putin apologizes to Azerbaijan over the downing of a commercial airliner in Russian airspace in which 38 people were killed. governors of Rivers and Bayelsa states have reaffirmed their commitment to foster peace following the controversies over the ownership of Soko oil wells and Bayelsa state's landed properties in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. This was made known when Governor Doye Diri led a delegation to the Government House, Port Harcourt, where he expressed gratitude to Governor Fubara for his peaceful approach to resolving the issues.
Since you came on board, between our two states, it has been very peaceful. Between our two states, we have had a whole lot of understanding, even in areas where we had some previous disagreements. I'd like to make a particular reference to the Soko oil wells that generated a whole lot of heat between our two states. For now, between us, we have agreed that let us go back to the status quo before whatever that happened. At a point, we had issues with Rivers State because our property was being destroyed here, and most of our boys threatened to move by leg from Bayelsa to Port Harcourt and face the bullet. But I dissuaded everybody from doing that we cannot go violent, and rather we have to follow the law. And so we instituted a case against Rivers State in the Supreme Court, because matters between states actually go to the Supreme Court. And that case was on, but as he came on board, again we have met, and solutions are now being sought to that matter. Your Excellency, my dear brother, I think that the best way for us to live is actually to always look for solutions, particularly between brothers, neighbors, and friends.
In his remarks, Governor Fubara emphasized the historical ties between the two states, which were once united as Rivers State, and stressed the importance of mutual cooperation.
The leaders of these states have been issued before the present political dispensation were all from Bayelsa. The records are there. So our story is not complete except we add that side of the Bayelsa. So when His Excellency was saying here that we had understanding, that is the right thing to do. It is the right thing. What are we fighting for? Issues of life is just mere understanding. We're not going to leave this earth with anything, but the legacy we leave is that building of relationship, that solving problem with love. That's the truth. You solve problem with love and not solving it with bitterness. So you just mentioned a few of the things we've been able to resolve within this short period. But above all, the most important thing is I want a better and stronger relationship with Bayelsa. If there is any issue of development in this state, if it doesn't work, if we don't work with Bayelsa, we can't sustain the development. And the truth about it is, good number of people that are living here are people from Bayelsa. They might work administratively there, but they reside here. So if we are developing this state, it is also for the interest and the betterment of Yahaya. So we are not going to end here. We also need that side to also be better, so that the growth among this region will be uniform and also sustained.
In 2024, the agricultural sector has emerged as one of the country's most significant contributors to the gross domestic product. After facing challenges in the past, the sector is showing resilience with notable growth reported across several key areas. Despite its positive contributions, challenges like climate change, insecurity, and rising food prices continue to impact the sector. Our correspondent, Hajara Aliu, takes a closer look at the developments within Nigeria's agriculture this year and what the government is doing to tackle the challenges ahead.
One of the key highlights of Nigeria's agriculture sector in 2024 is its significant contribution to the country's gross domestic product. The first quarter of the year recorded a growth of 0.18%, a recovery from the minus 0.9% growth in the same period of 2023. The National Bureau of Statistics reported that by the end of the third quarter, the sector had grown by 1.14%, contributing 28.65% to overall GDP in real terms, with crop production leading the way at 26.51% growth. The farming season in 2024 was a mix of highs and lows for farmers. While many reported bumper harvest, others were affected by dry spells in parts of Adamawa, Taraba, Plateau, Gombe, Borno, Ekiti, and southern states.
According to the forecast of the NIMET, which we usually use it as a guide, but we don't 100% believe in it, that is what caused some of the challenges we had, because at the initial stage they said the rain will start earlier and we have a breakup. Such breakup discourage most farmers and destroy most crops.
The sector continues to face challenges, including climate change, insecurity, inadequate infrastructure issues, and financing. By September 10, 2024, the Food and Agriculture Organization reported that 1.3 million hectares of land had been submerged, including 558,000 hectares of cropland. To support farmers during the year, in July, the federal government launched the distribution of 60 trucks of fertilizers to each state to boost production. The 2024 budget allocated over 360 billion naira to the agricultural sector. Additionally, the federal government secured a $600 million loan to support agricultural sector growth. The year also reveals that Nigeria faces mounting challenges in food security. 31.7 million people facing high levels of food insecurity amid soaring rates of malnutrition. This is according to the World Bank's Food Security Update report released in September 2024. The report also revealed a 28% increase in the number of people facing high levels of acute food shortages driven by factors such as intensified conflicts and climate-related shocks like drought and food inflation. The report further noted that domestic food price inflation remains among the highest globally, with food prices increasing by 37.5% year-on-year as of August 2024. In response, the government launched several initiatives to address the food crisis, including the distribution of rice palliatives to states in July. In September, the government commenced the sales of 30,000 metric tons of milled rice at a flat rate of 40,000 naira per 50 kg bag.
As part of the strategy of the ministry to tackle the food price inflation, our pledge and promise to Nigerians is that we will ramp up production back to back, which means as the rainy season is finishing, we are moving into the dry season and we are preparing.
In the year, President Bola Tinubu announced the creation of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, while the African Development Bank facilitated the mobilization of $2.2 billion for the second phase of the Transformative Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones Nigeria project.
The Livestock Ministry now will focus on livestock. I believe that will go a long way in making sure that we we have sufficient food in the country, even start exporting. Because the livestock sector, as it is, has a lot of potentials, which is not yet tapped in this country.
The government has also introduced initiatives to support both dry and wet season farming, with a particular focus on crops such as wheat, rice, maize and millet.
We are hoping that the smallholder farmers and small-scale producers will be incentivized by giving them good security to be able to go to their farms, by giving them access to good seeds, access to credit, access to mechanization, and then the enabling environment will be correct for people to do their utmost. And in spite...
Looking ahead to 2025, the federal government has shown financial commitments to the agriculture sector with a proposed budget of up to 800 million naira. The president has also promised to improve mechanized farming in the coming years.
I have over 2,000 tractors coming to this country for mechanized farming.
As Nigeria continues to pursue economic diversification, addressing the structural issues hindering the growth of the sector is essential, especially considering that it employs more than 36% of the country's labor force, particularly in rural areas. Hajara Aliyu, Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise has given its economic forecast for 2025, expecting moderate economic growth with inflation potentially moderating slightly. That's on Business News. Join us again. Welcome back. Insecurity in the Northeast has posed a major challenge for the region, disrupting critical services, including health and education. Its negatives from kidnapping, banditry, and clashes between farmers and herders are enormous. Our next report focuses on how women in Adamawa State are leading the pack to ensure peace returns to the region.
For 15 years, since 2009, when Boko Haram insurgency started in the northeast, the region has continued to grapple with one form of security challenge or the other. Kidnapping, banditry, farmers-herders clashes has claimed hundreds of lives and rendered many homeless. Vulnerable populations, including women and children, are often at the receiving end of these crises. The European Union is partnering with the International Organization for Migration to engage women in peace-building process in the region. Women leaders in various communities meet to discuss ideas on the approaches for ensuring peace in the region.
You can even see I work with herder women here. Yes, and farmer women, because this farmer herder thing has really dealt with the women, because the women are vulnerable to all these clashes. That is why we have made it a point of duty to awaken each other, to talk to our husbands. Yes, because they are the ones on field. They are the ones farming and they are the ones herding.
The initiative is being executed under the EU-funded program known as Committees, and women in Adamawa and Taraba State are involved in the peace-building process.
When women are involved in peace building, it means it starts from the home. They are able to convince their husbands to be able to, live in peace with their, people from the other divide, either Christian or Muslims or farmer, or a herder. So for us, we know that when women are involved in peace building, we would have a lot of impact.
We have also strengthened capacities of communities and improved trust of communities in authorities. We now have an environment in Adamawa State where communities now understand their role, they understand the role of the government, and they are working collaboratively with the government and with other key stakeholders to ensure that they remain peaceful and their communities are peaceful.
The program hopes to engage more women in the region to champion peaceful coexistence in their communities and reduce clashes in the region.
As part of activities for the festive season, residents of Bonny in River State gathered by the waterside for the much-anticipated Bonny Boat Regatta. The competition, which featured 11 chieftaincy houses, is an annual event organized entirely by members of the community to foster unity and preserve the rich cultural heritage of the ancient Bonny Kingdom. Our correspondent, Deborah Agbalama, now reports.
The cool beach, Bonny Island, River State, came alive with colors, chants and splashes as boats represented 11 of the community's chieftaincy houses slug it out. All raced through the waterways in the highly competitive Bonny Boat Regatta. Regatta, a competition with a historical background introduced in 2023 in the Grand Bonny Kingdom. In the past, a fun game, but now an initiative meant to unite the 36 war canoe houses in the community and showcase the maritime lifestyle to guests.
For me, the most important part for this and what I see as my highlight is the unity that it brings. The people coming together. Like Bonny, we are 35 houses. Every single person comes from a house. And, you know, people coming in to support themselves from different houses. For me, that unity, that team and community bonding is very, very important. That's what we need to generate peace in our community, people coming together like this. So events like this are not just for the prize money, it's for the spectacle of people coming together, the colorfulness and unity and all that. For me, that's my highest highlight of it.
What you witnessed here was 11 of the 34 houses brought out their ceremonial boats. In those days, it was an act of celebration after a war. In those days, it was the boat that was used for the war. So today we brought it out to showcase our very rich cultural heritage.
This year, the Wilkers Chieftaincy House emerged as the winner after a fiercely contested water play.
As the waters of Bonny River sparkle under the sun, we celebrate not only the vibrant culture of our ancestors, but also the bond that unites us as one community, citizens, neighbors, and guests alike. For centuries, the regatta has been a cornerstone of our heritage, symbolizing the resilience, skill, and unity of the Bonny people. These colorful boats, powered by synchronized oars and steadfast determination, are a tribute to the maritime traditions that have defined us as a coastal people.
The regatta wraps up with the presentation of prizes to the winners amidst cheers from the crowd. Deborah Agbalama, Channels Television News.
More pomp and ceremony in Kwara State during the grand finale of the annual Idi Festival in Offa, with a call on indigents across the world to redouble their efforts in the development and economic growth of the community. At the occasion, the Olofa of Offa announced plans to build an arena and cultural center to function as a hub for the community's activities.
The mini stadium Offa is hosting indigents of the community from across the world who are participating in the annual Idi Festival. This is the 11th edition, and various compounds display their rich culture with dances as they pay homage to the king. The national president of Ofa Descendants Union called on the sons and daughters of the community to redouble their efforts in the socio-economic development of the town.
We have to explore what we have, our traditional commerce, and marry it with our development. They should be coming home. They should be coming home. They shouldn't shy away from where they come from. You know, many of them, it is when they need us for senatorial position, House of Rep, whatever. That's when they remember where they come from. But we should be identified with our people. We should be available for them when they need us. And then they shouldn't have any fear. There's no car you want, there's no houses you are thinking of that you don't find about today. So nobody is even care so much about what other people are having. 1, 2, 3.
Amidst the pomp and pageantry, the community is already planning for the next edition of the festival with a plan to build a structure for the annual event.
We want to launch Ijakadi Arena separate because we have a lot of land to the left-hand side here, which we want to launch a permanent arena for Ijakadi, because the Ijakadi Festival has come to stay. This is culture and tradition. A lot of people come. We that you are seeing here are not only from Ofa. Some people come from abroad. It will generate a lot of revenue for the government.
We are trying to ensure that local government administration is data-driven. We are trying to introduce e-governance into our community. When we have proper data, then we can plan properly. Based on the application processes, you will know the age distribution, you will know the gender distribution. Then you now tailor your development programs towards the needs of the people in an empirical manner.
The high point of the ceremony is the symbolic wrestling bout between the Olofa of Ofa and the Esa of Ofa, in which the Olofa won.
In Gombe State, the governor, Yahaya, has signed 2 bills into law at the State Executive Council chamber. The twin bills are the 2025 budget and the People with Disability Protection Bill. The establishment of the Gombe Disability Commission becomes one of the immediate benefits of the signing of the People with Disability Protection Bill into law.
Governor Yahaya walks into the chamber as members of the State Executive Council, legislators and representatives of people with disability receive him. They are here to witness the signing of 2 important bills, one that officially gives the green light to spending plans for 2025 and the other to protect persons living with disability. First, Governor Yahaya signs off on Gombe State's 369 billion naira budget of commitment and resilience.
I want to thank the Honorable House for taking this time and for doing this wonderful job within a very limited period from the 19th until now. It's just about a month plus. And within it, you've scrutinized the budget and passed it and brought it for my assent today. I want to thank the Honorable House for cooperating and supporting the government ever since we came into office, but more specifically for this one, which you've done and which you have shown the spirit of camaraderie and also the goodwill and the support of this government.
Next is the Gombe State People with Disability Protection Bill. After this, he announces the setting up of a commission to cater to people with special needs and appoints its pioneer executive secretary.
I want to assure you that we shall pick from within your own people that will manage, this commission and cooperate with us to deliver on your basic needs. Above all, I want to thank each and every citizen of Gombe State for the cooperation and support this government has been getting over the years, and to pledge to you our commitment, to see to the fact that all that we promise to the people that are basically committed to serving people will be done, and will be done efficiently and effectively.
For the community of persons with special needs, these special lifelines will be better education, skill acquisition, and economic empowerment for them.
The governor personally told us that he's going to assent to the bill, he is going to implement the bill. And as God have it, last year he called us personally that he's going to send the bill to the House of Assembly, which he did, and he supported the House through Commissioner of Justice. And today we are witnessing the assent of the bill and also the appointment of the head of the commission, which we will never forget for the history of Disability Committee in Gombe State, because the bill consists of so many things that will transform the lives of ordinary persons with disability in Gombe State.
For the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, this new law and commission will take care of many other issues and open the doors to donor agencies.
You've heard, Northeast Gombe State has been chosen for the World Bank to support in the implementation of this commission and activities that is involved. So most of their activities will be funded by donor agencies. That is another advantage. So it's relief to the state government that most of the burden will not be shouldered only by the state government, but those international partners. They are coming in to help us.
The state government is optimistic that the two bills will bring improved welfare to over 4 million residents of Gombe State in the next 365 days and beyond.
Time to find out what's happening in the world of business. Laddie Williams has all those details.
Thanks, Melinda. Well, as 2024 winds down, experts and economists are reviewing the outgoing year with an outlook for the Nigerian economy in 2025. The latest is from Dr. Muda Yusuf, Director and CEO, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise. Dr. Muda acknowledges that despite significant macroeconomic challenges in 2024, Nigeria's economy showed resilience with a projected GDP growth of around 3.6%. By the end of 2024, aligning with the Sub-Saharan Africa forecast. The report highlights a concerning trend emerged as the financial sector's growth diverged from the real economy, showing structural issues. The dominance of the non-oil sector in GDP, yet its limited impact on foreign exchange earnings, further points to the need for greater productivity and competitiveness reforms. And now see the Nigerian box office has reached a historic milestone, surpassing 1 billion naira in total earnings for the first time in a single week. From December 20th to December 26, 2024, the box office generated 1.02 billion naira, marking a significant achievement for the nation's growing film industry on the global stage. The highlights of this achievement came Boxing Day, December 26, 2024, when the box office set a new record with a remarkable 256.4 million naira in ticket sales. This made it the highest grossing single day in Nigerian cinema history, surpassing the previous record of 89.8 million naira and reflecting the increasing demand for films during the festive season, according to Nile Entertainment. All right, let's get a check on how your money performed. For the week, we see the domestic stock market's trading activities ended the fourth week of December in the green as the market opened for 3 trading days as the federal government declared Wednesday, December 25th and 26th public holidays to commemorate the Christmas celebration. We see the 0.99% week-to-date increase in the all-share index was largely driven by bargain hunting in Emirates Oil Nigeria PLC and some banking tickers. Sector performance was also largely positive in 4 out of the 5 key counters of the NGX. The share price of Ikeja Hotel PLC recorded the highest gain for the week with a 32.79% increase. Thomas White's Nigeria PLC led a pack of 20 losers, down 10%, while the trio of United Bank for Africa PLC, Universal Insurance PLC, and Zenith Bank PLC were the top three contributors to a total of 1.387 billion shares traded this week. All right, that's it from me on businesses. To Victoria now with sports.
Thank you, Ladi. Nigeria's Super Eagles Team B, popularly known as the Chan Eagles, have qualified for next year's African Nations Championship. The Chan Eagles beat Ghana 3-1 on aggregate to qualify for the biennial tournament for players who play in their nation's domestic league. After the first leg in Ghana ended goalless, Nigeria defeated the Black Galaxies 3-1 in Uyo, courtesy of goals from Remo Stars duo Sadiq Ismail and Nduka Jr., while Isaac Xavier of Rangers also got on the score sheet. And Stefanos Tsitsipas inspired Greece as they edged past Spain in Group C of the United Cup in Perth. Jessica Monero got the Spaniards off to a solid start with a 6-2, 6-1 victory over Maria Sakkari before Tsitsipas got past Pablo Buster 6-4, 4-6, 6-3 to put Greece on the board. Sakkari and Tsitsipas then fought to overcome Yvonne Reimers and Sergio Gornes 4-6, 6-3, 10-6 to wrap up the tie.
Game Sama. Hindus 2-6-1. 6-4, 4-6, 6-3.
And Canada were also victorious in Group A of the 10 million United Cup tournament that features 18 countries as they defeated Croatia 2-1 in Perth's RAC Arena. Former U.S. Open runner-up Leila Fernandez overcame Donna Vekic 6-4, 6-3 before Felix Auger-Aliassime crashed to 6-love, 6-4, 6-4 defeat by Borna Coric. Fernandez and Auger-Aliassime then saw off Lucia Bagaric and Ivan Dodig 6-3, 6-4 to clinch the tie. And that's it on Sports News. Is back to you, Melinda.
Many thanks, Victoria. On the international scene, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has apologized to the president of neighboring Azerbaijan over the downing of a commercial airliner in Russian airspace in which 38 people were killed, but stopped short of saying Russia was responsible. In his first comments on the Christmas Day crash, President Putin said the tragic incident had occurred when Russian air defense systems were repelling Ukrainian drones. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia must stop spreading disinformation about the strike. The plane is believed to have come under heavy fire from the Russian air defense system as it tried to land in the region of Chechnya, forcing it to divert across the Caspian Sea. Israel has evacuated the Kamal Adwan hospital in northern Gaza. The mandatory evacuation of the last major functioning hospital comes after reports that Israel's strikes on the area killed dozens of people. According to Gaza health officials, medical staff, including the hospital director, who reported that about 50 people had been killed, have all been detained. The IDF had said it was carrying out an operation in the area, alleging that the hospital is a Hamas terrorist stronghold. And the main news again. The Vice President Kashim Shettima today commiserated with the government and people of Sokoto State over the military airstrike, assured them that the federal government will not rest on its oars until terror groups are completely wiped out. We also told you that a deadly fire has razed the Masaka market in Karu local government area of Nasarawa State, where goods and properties worth millions of naira were destroyed. Also today, human rights lawyer Femi Falana has blamed the police for the multiple stampedes that claimed lives in some parts of the country, as he challenged government at all levels to address acute poverty, hunger, as well as youth unemployment. And Russian President Vladimir Putin has apologized to Azerbaijan over the downing of a commercial airliner in Russian airspace, in which 38 people were killed. That's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Akinlami on behalf of the team. Good night.